Okay, so again, you could have chosen any 2 points. Even if you don't choose the same 2 points as me, you should get the same answer. I'm going to choose the pink to the black. I always start with the leftmost point, so I'm going to start with the pink. And my rise is down 3. That's a -3. The run is right 1. That's +1. So the slope is -3 over +1 or -3. Notice that this line from left to right is going down, so you should expect a negative answer, in which case the other line from left to right is traveling up, so you should expect a positive answer. So that's if you're given the graph or graph paper, you could plot any graph and then count the boxes between any 2 points, rise over run. In order to do it without graph paper, there's the slope formula. Instead of actually having to see how many boxes up or down, you could just get the change in the x values. So how we get the change in the x values is we subtract the y coordinates. So the way they differentiate between the y coordinates is they use these little subscripts to make it y2 minus y1. Then the denominator is the run, and instead of counting the number of boxes to the left or right you're moving, you just could get the change in the x. So subtract the x coordinates. And then you'll have a fraction that you could simplify. So if you use the slope formula, it does not matter which point you make your x1, y1 or which point you make your x2, y2. Just be consistent because the operation between the coordinates is subtraction. Whichever y value you start with, its partner must be the first x value when you take care of the denominator. So just like above using the graph, it doesn't matter which of the 2 points you use first that's been given, but you have to start with the same point on the top as you do on the bottom. So let's try the first one together. I'm going to do it 2 ways. I'm going to do it starting with the -4, 2, and then starting with the -7, 1, so that you could see that you get the same answer. So first, let's use the -4, 2 as our x, y with the little 1, subscript, not an exponent. And the -7, 1 is going to be our x, y, 2. So the first point I used the -4, 2, the second point the -7, 1. Now if you have graph paper, you could plot the points and count the boxes, and that's fine. So to use the slope formula, I'm going to subtract the y's and then subtract the x's. So I, on top and bottom, start with the subscript of 2. So 1's going to go first on top, which means the -7 has to go first on bottom. That's what's so important when you're plugging in. So y2 is the 1 minus the y of the other point is 2. x2 is the -7, and x1 is the -4. So whenever you have a negative coordinate second, you're going to have the double negative because you're subtracting -4. So some people like to just go straight to the minus minus, making it a plus. So we have 1 minus 2, which is -1, -7 plus 3, which is -7 plus 4, which is -3. A negative divided by a negative is going to go give you a positive. So again, both the top and bottom started with the coordinates of x2, y2. So whichever point you start with on top, you have to start with on bottom. Well, let's flip-flop it. Let's say that we're going to use the -7, 1 as our x1, y1, and our -4, 2 as our x2, y2. We are going to get the same answer. If I subtract the y's, y2 minus y1, now I'm going to start with 2 minus 1. On the bottom, x2 minus x1, same formula, x2 minus x1 now is -4 minus, and then the negative coordinate is going to have a double minus in front of it. So I could just make it plus if I'd like. And that gives me a +1 on top, -4 plus 7 is 3 on bottom, and we get the same answer. It doesn't matter, because the negative over a negative is the same as the positive over the positive. okay? And we started on top and bottom, both with the coordinates of -4, 2. The x on the bottom, the y on the top, because it's the change in y over the change in x. Try the next one and then open up the next video.